So Rosemary is one of our newest members. So Rosemary has joined Spark in, I think it was May, right, Rosemary?
Yes, May.
Oh, June. I think you did.
It was May, June, end of May, early June. Yeah.
And then quite quickly you decided that you were going to do come to Ghana as well, because you were like this.
Yep,
I was like, whoa,
right.
She's ready. She's determined. She's ready. So what made you decide to? How did you find out about me, and what made you decide to do the training?
I found out about you through Facebook, and it's sort of like, I guess the time was just right because it was something that I had been thinking about. I just didn't know how to do it, and then when I found you on Facebook, I thought, okay, this is very interesting, and sort of started looking out more information about you and what you do, just to make sure that I felt comfortable that it wasn't a scam or anything like that. So yes, so I liked what you were doing and the fact that you were touching on Africa. I mean, I'm African born and raised, even though I live in Australia, and I still feel strongly about the continent and growing and building the continent. So with your offering, I just felt like it was a perfect match. And being someone who, it's an industry that I've never been into, and I'm not a tailor, I don't sew, but I'm passionate about producing that opportunity to be able to produce clothes there. And with your experience and contacts and the fact that you've worked so hard to build a package where it gives you the steps of what you need to do. Obviously, you still need to do the work yourself and customize it to your needs and what your business is. But I just felt it was an opportunity I couldn't let go. Yeah, pretty much.
If you don't mind me sharing, you've got a young child as well. And is it just a one child?
I've got two young kids. Yeah, I've got a toddler and one who's just started primary school.
Wow. And you just made a decision like that. You just knew it was right for you, and you didn't think twice. Oh, hi, Myrna. Sorry, somebody else was trying. You just didn't think twice about it. You just jumped on board. I love that about you. I love the fact that you're quick thinking. Not everybody is like that. And so, what could be some of the reservations that you've had, and what made you overcome that reservations, or the challenges to just jump on board with?
There have been quite a few. I mean, even if I touch on the fact that I have young kids, not a part of you wants to keep it safe and make sure you've got guaranteed stability somewhat. So I do feel like I'm stepping out a lot. But part of the reason why I'm doing it is not just for me, but it's also for them, so that I've got something that I can leave them with, something that I can give to them, because I've got a job at the moment and I can't pass on my job to them. And also just that region, I've never been to like Ghana, West Africa before. So again, it's kind of, what am I getting myself into? And being a new industry, what am I getting myself into? It's like, I know Jacqueline has done a lot. She has things in place. And again, I still need to do the work. But it's in your mind, it's sort of a mental game of, your mind is sort of questioning you, like, are you sure about this? What are you really doing? And also my husband as well, convincing him that it's worth venturing into this direction. Because again, for him, it's like, we got two young kids, got quite a few things on the plate. Are you sure about this? Is this the right time? But I just feel there's never going to be a perfect time, and now is the time to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Hopefully Black Panther was a thing that moved him forward.
It did help.
It helps. But I mean, it's brought a lot of people business. It's brought a lot of people business, and this year of return has really encouraged. I think it's going to continue on. For those who are watching this in 2019 or those watching 2020, 2019 was a year of return, really kicked off a lot of interest for many people looking back at maybe their own African heritage or just Africa in general, and what's so popular about music, dance, and fashion, food, everything. So to tap into this, to do it now, I think jump on board, because there's many people, brands and retailers and people who are just jumping on it. And I think if you yourself who wants to do something in Africa, this is the perfect time. And as you said, it's an optimum time. Nothing's perfect, like you said, but it is an optimum time as a business professional to jump on board with Africa. So tell us where you were at in regards to your business and how far you've come along with Spark. I know it's only been like 5 months, I think, or less, around that. But let's say this time last year or the beginning of this year, where were you? What were you doing? I know the young baby then, and then where you're at now with thinking and with everything and the training.
Yeah. So business-wise, a year from now, it wasn't even really on the horizon. It was kind of like, we need more stuff made in Africa, but nothing thinking about it. And then around the time that I discovered your program around May there, that's when I was like, okay, I really want to do this. I didn't have a business set up. At the moment, I still don't have it officially set up. So it's been a work in progress, and that's a key part of why I chose to do Spark and why I'm going to Ghana, to help me narrow down and define things, and as soon as I get back, to get things set up and going. So it's still at a concept, but it's a concept that's pretty much ready enough, and especially after Ghana, to just get things set up and going. I don't have an actual business as yet. Spark has just been helping me through the training to understand the different layers of what's involved, because it's very easy for you to overlook a lot of things which are very critical to your business getting up and running, but also to sustain it, to keep it going in the long term, which is what I want. So I've just been working on building that.
What's been most key in the training for you? What, if you can, one of the junctions that's been most relevant, or been like, or one of the tools that you've been given within the training? Is there something that's been like, now this is why I needed this? Is there anything that was really good, or, So I'll put you on the spot now. I didn't give you this.
That's all right. I'm just trying to think of one thing, because there's multiple things for me. Because even with just when it comes to the concept testing, because it's very easy to say, I want to, do fashion, I want to, make clothes, and quite often you just sort of stop at, this is what I like and this is what I want to make. And you forget that at the end of the day, you're running a business and you're not going to be the customer. Other people are. So just working on understanding, just doing the activities to start questioning and asking potential customers, what do you actually want? What would you actually like? How much would you be willing to spend? So doing that homework. And part of that was, me getting uncomfortable. I am a bit more of a reserved person, but you sort of have to put yourself out there and start asking more questions. And it can be a bit hard when you're at my stage where I'm not a tailor, so I don't actually have a sample to show you. And I don't actually have the business set up yet. So it's sort of just concepts I'm playing around with and working with pictures. So there's that aspect of it. And also the financial side of it, just understanding it in finer details, again, what's involved, because there's so many things you can overlook of what's actually involved in making that garment, to bring it to completion, ready to a reasonable, not just reasonable, a good quality for your customers. And especially thinking about the price point that you're wanting to sell it at and profit margins, to get it to that quality, what's actually involved, including considering on the continent, what is it going to take for them to get what they need to make that garment as well. So all those things, and even the the wonderful administrative side of things, of thinking about the logistics and so forth, of getting your product to you, the
The
process
different
involved
types
in
of
there.
traits and so forth. Did you?
Yeah,
You said that you're going through this the second time, or you've done it. You've gone through it
yeah,
twice now, and that was a
yeah,
rather refresher for you.
yeah. So I found personally, so I went through it the first time and I got a lot out of it. And you definitely have to like not skip junctions and things. You have to build up to it and do it as it's been structured. Um, but I still felt afterwards that I needed to go through it again, because when I went back through it again, there's things that, even though I knew it was important and I kind of got it, they made more sense now when I went back to it, because now that I had a better understanding of what the process is, when I went back to it, I was like, oh, okay, now I really get this. And in terms of looking back at when I was doing the different activities and different tasks, and looking at how I'd answered things, now when I've gone back the second time, um, I can define things a bit more. I can be more specific, because now I've got a better understanding of what it's actually talking about, what it actually means. So it's definitely worth, taking the time to go through it again, just to get a better understanding.
So you guys will, you do get lifetime access to it. Any updates, you'll just be moved over to the updated option. So there's that as well, and it is something that it's ongoing learnings, and so that's why I can move on to being in the membership as well. So you joined at the time when I just opened the membership, probably a month or so after you, maybe a month after you joined, and
Yeah.
how has that been? Because even though the guys need to congratulate this lady, because she is, I think it's like nearly 8 o'clock here, and I think it's 5 a.m.
Yeah, it's about 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, yeah.
And she's come to show up. So I'm not going to keep you that long if you want to go get some more rest. But I'm sure baby has been keeping you up anyway. But anyway, um, being in the family, you've been regularly showing up as much as you can, and you're in Australia. Like the time difference is there, but you showed up. And everybody who's been on the Facebook challenges or the trainings I do, I salute everybody who shows up, because I think that shows your commitment. As I said, you have to give time, energy, and finance as commitments, and you've been giving your time, energy, and finance for your business. So the family, how has that been for you as a membership club, to aid the training of Spark?
It's been really good. Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, there've been a lot of different speakers who come on, whether it's you, whether it's industry people, or other people within the group as well, sharing their stories, and it's been very enlightening. Again, you're learning every time different tools or different perspectives, because sometimes it can be a topic that maybe has been touched on in Spark, or you have in general an idea of it, but when you have someone, an expert, talking on it, you're like, okay, again, I didn't think about that, and that's very important. um, so it's been very helpful, and just been having that community of other people who are also wanting to start their own thing and having the same dream. It's a nice community where you can connect with other people, because it's not just turn up and that's it. You can actually connect with other people within the family as well, and just get to talk to them on a personal level, or even just business level, whatever you want. So you've got a support base. You don't feel like you're completely alone, which is quite nice.
That's good. So what would you say to anybody who's thinking about it, or they've been maybe on the fence? I've had a lot of emails coming through, different people having extra questions, which is fine. There's always going to be questions when you're considering um, investing in any type of training. I've done the same, even with universities. I've had many questions. Is this going to be right for me? Will you teach me this? Will I learn this? But for you, what would you say from your experience? What would you say to those who are thinking about doing it, and newbies in the business, or maybe they've even started their business already? What would you say to them?
I'll just say, look, just go for it, because for me personally, I feel sometimes I can get caught up in analyzing things, and you analyze and you analyze and you analyze and you analyze. And sometimes the opportunity will just go while you're just analyzing. So sometimes it's by you doing something, that's when you start seeing the results and the fruits. And it's definitely worth it. Jackie is very experienced and she's very genuine, and she's got a lot of tools in place to help, like a lot of tools. But just remember that at the end of the day, it's not a spoon feeding type structure where you just get spoon fed and do nothing. You still have to do the work. So if it's something that you really want to do, just jump on board and get started.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just jump on board and get started. And
Yeah.
yeah, wow, thank you for obviously for your kind words, and thank you for sharing your experiences with Spark, and in just a very short period of time. So guys, you could be meeting, you know, Rosemary and Joy by being part of the family. You'll get access to that just like they have, so you can join with them. And yeah, next month we're going to be doing a very interesting time. We're going to be doing some more hands-on work in November. So I really want to encourage you guys to jump on board the Spark, get access to the membership, and really be able to have the opportunity to work through even at an early stage. And then we're going to go through the journey together. Okay, so you're not going to be alone. Now, this is why I added a family, so you can connect with people. You guys can have access to me. Ask me those key questions that you want to ask, that you might be wondering as you're going along. I'm going to start, as I said, start creating hot seats so you guys can have more time to ask more questions. But yeah, just jump in and do it. That's what you know. Rosemary's been saying. Joy was very passionate about that, and she's been in there a little bit longer, so she's had even more experience of being in the community and been doing Spark as well. But yeah, so it's now over to you guys. I want firstly just want to thank you, Rosemary, for your time for showing
Sure.
up. Yeah,
Sure.
so God bless you, and yeah, I'll speak to you later, as you know, if we have our meeting coming up. And
All
yeah,
right.
bless you, thank you. So I'll let you go.
Thanks, Jackie. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Okay, bye.